Welcome to a Weasel, a Pickle, and Levi. How are you boys doing today? I'm so pumped to be here because this is going to be a nice break from finals and taking tests. So, how have your guys' days been? Like, can you give me a word or something that tells me how your day has been?
I don't think we can tell you anything.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say.
Can you give me
I
all
can
the
neither
answers?
confirm nor deny.
Okay, well, I'm glad you guys have had good days. Okay. Okay.
I'll
So,
be emailing all your professors about your academic dishonesty once.
Yeah, you're a cheater.
okay. I don't think this is cheating quite yet. It will be, but not yet.
Oh.
I'm just
Okay.
kidding. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. No. Okay. So I guess I'm hosting today, which will
Who are
probably.
you?
Oh, I'm Parks Brawand.
Okay.
Okay. So our first question, not really from Reddit. I just thought of this question. If you could be an object for a day, what object would you want to be and why?
What? Holy cow.
I have something in mind, but
Yeah, Parks, can you give it to us so we can get the ball rolling in our
Yes.
own minds?
yes, of course. I would absolutely love to be the windshield on a truck driver's truck because I would get to see beautiful lands, unknown pathways, and I would just get to see the world of America during this COVID time.
I
I
Is
want
that
probably
how badly you
unknown.
want? Is that how badly you want to leave the house, Parks? Is that you would be a
I mean,
windshield?
yeah, see, it would be hard though because I would be getting hit with like rocks and pebbles and
Yeah.
yeah. But I think it would be fun.
I think you look kind of like the Cars in the movie Cars, like maybe like Mater.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm picturing.
that's true. I wouldn't be able to see in the truck, I would assume. I would hope not.
Parks, your hair color is similar to Mater's paint job.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, to an orangutan's fur.
Okay, what?
That's a funny you mentioned that, Nathan.
Why do you
Yeah.
mention that, Nathan?
Sorry, what was that, Pongo?
What? What?
Absolutely nobody's gonna get that.
What does that mean? Okay. Nathan, tell me what you would be for one day, 24 hours.
Oh, I think I would be the pen of an amazing author, so I could do something intellectual with my day.
Wow.
I didn't really think that out very far.
That's a quality answer.
I was
like
gonna
that.
say a rocket ship, but then you went with the truck thing, so
Ah, yes.
yeah.
That's good. I like that. Who would the author be?
Parks Brawand.
Ah, good.
Oh, what an incredible author.
Thank
Yes.
A
I would
Kuiper
enjoy
scholar.
reading the
Yes.
same things all day, every day,
Yeah.
without actually like reading anything at all. It would just be like
Absolute garbage that just fills up a page and says
you.
nothing.
Okay. Okay. Nope. I am a Kuiper scholar, so that wouldn't happen.
yeah. Wait, Parks, you could do it for your Kuiper Scholars credit this semester.
What am I doing for that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll both say that on the count of three what we're doing for that. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Nothing.
No, I'll figure something out over the summer because I'm gonna have a lot of time over the summer to
Yeah.
think about stuff.
Oh, good.
That was a good answer. What about you, Chase?
I think I would be the Eiffel Tower
Ah,
because I would get to be in France and smell bread.
Oh my! You would
He'd
see
be
a
really
lot of
tall too.
Really tall, very strong and metallic.
metallic. Ah, yes, that's true. You would see a lot of love in the air,
A
and
lot of love,
yes,
a lot of happiness, mushy feelings. I like that.
yeah. Those are good answers. I like those. Yes. Okay. Who is ready for a quote? Okay. Let's see. I have a quote here. That I would love to hear your guys' opinion on. It is by Aristotle, one of my favorites.
He was a really good president.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, he was. Yeah. All right. Here it is. To say of what is that it is not, or of what is not that it is false. While to say of what is that it is, and of what is not. Sorry. I apologize. Wow. Let me
No
restart that.
entiendo.
Okay, I'll restart that. Wow. To say of what is that it is not, or of what is not that it is false. While to say of what is that it is, and of what is not that it is not, is true.
That is what it is.
Do you like that? What are your thoughts on that? Or I actually
Who
don't
translated that?
I
Is
don't
that a
know.
real thing?
That is a real quote. Yes, I think it's do you remember? This is the one that Jana had in her paper.
Oh, yeah, when I graded or like proofread Jana's paper
Yeah.
last semester, and I was like, what is this quote? I have no idea what it means.
We should let viewers try to decipher it. We'll
Yeah,
post
because
it
that's
in-
not our job.
I have no clue.
I don't get it. I've read it about 30 times and I don't get it. Okay, here, we'll do a different one. This is actually better, I promise. Okay. This is by Albert Einstein. Okay, everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler.
So like that Aristotle quote?
Yeah. That should be that just makes no sense, that other quote. Here, I'll reread it. Okay, everything.
Yeah, please give that to me again, Park.
Yes. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler.
Okay, so he's saying like there's a certain simple possibility, but to go beyond what is possible, well, if you can't go beyond what is possible. Or is he saying you can?
I think he's just saying like maybe don't make things more complex than they need to be, but also don't dumb things down to the point where it's useless anymore. Where my goes is where Dr. Oh, can we talk about calculus today? Is this a...
We can talk about Diffie-Q.
Yeah, Diffie-Q. So he would talk about modeling equations. We try to make it as simple as possible while still having useful info. Like there's an example of that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the general point of it. I don't know.
Like in papers, you don't want to have just drawn out, like kind of like what we were talking about earlier. You shouldn't, when you edit a paper, it might be shorter because it should be shorter maybe because you exclude unneeded information, I guess. And so that's kind of the case. I don't know. That's kind of similar, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
One time in high school, I wrote a paper and I went through like pretty much every other word and did a thesaurus on those words, and the product was just a monster of massive words that made no sense. My teacher kind of made fun of me because it was really bad.
Well, what was that about?
Do you think it was good? Were you trying to make a joke, or was
No,
it...
I was trying. I don't really know what my idea was. I thought it would be good, better if I had big words in it, but it was just like every other word was something you'd never heard before, and it sounded so dumb.
I think I had a stage like that too. Yeah.
You had a stage where you wrote
Yeah.
things, Parks, and they were good or bad? Are you still
I've
in that
always
phase?
been in this phase where things have been good that I've written,
Okay.
especially with Nathan wanting to be my pen.
Yes, that is true. And
Yes.
especially when we write lab reports together.
Oh yes, those are fun actually. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun is how I describe those.
I like to use a thesaurus a lot when I'm doing my papers.
I've stopped that practice just because my vocabulary is big enough I don't need one anymore.
Oh, got him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think that can be useful sometimes too. All right. Are you guys done with that? Is that
You're the host. You do
on that
whatever. We
quote?
can sit on this quote for 2 more hours if you want.
Actually,
Mark.
I want to go back to Aristotle's quote one more time.
Please.
To say of what is that it is not, or of what is not that it is false. While to say of what is that it is, and of what is not that it is not, is true. Oh my.
So I think he's trying to say that what it is not is false, but what it is true, but it isn't.
Yeah, that cleared it right up. Thanks.
Just to clarify, it is what it's not, but is not what it is, while that isn't is not.
There are just too many knots. And I think if he had said the same thing with maybe, I don't know, actual specific words.
Maybe if we knew the Greek, it would be fine. But it's the translation problem.
I hope
Chase,
so.
bring this to your pastor.
Yeah, because you guys can't bring it to yours because they don't know Greek.
My pastor definitely knows Greek.
I know, that was a joke. I'm sure your pastor knows Greek.
Oh, I thought you were pointing out that Parks is probably doesn't.
Oh, because he's Wesleyan.
Mine does.
Yeah.
Wesleyan knows his
That's
Greek.
that's a joke, listeners. Wesleyans know Greek. All of them.
Yes. No, wait, no. We do. That's not a joke. We do know Greek. Okay. Okay. Oh boy, I have two. Okay, this next topic is quite dark, and we've been laughing quite a bit.
Good. What? It's been too happy. We need to reel this thing up.
Okay. I think we had partially discussed this earlier at Dort, I think, but this is a question. If you could witness the crucifixion of Jesus and his resurrection, would you be willing to do that? Would you want to do that? Would you think it was unnecessary?
Wow.
I think it's unnecessary, yeah.
That's kind of, yes.
Because I believe in Jesus anyways, so it's unnecessary. Would I want to?
Mm-hmm.
To me, yes, for sure. To see Jesus like in person and know him, like witness him on earth, that would be so cool, even if it's like the crucifixion, which would be really hard to watch.
It's the most important moment in all of history.
Yeah,
right.
To be there, it'd be painful.
Mm-hmm. But then to see him resurrected would be like crazy.
Yeah.
And to see the disciples, like their reactions and everything that goes on with them, that would be really cool.
Yeah, like most of them not believing.
Yeah, being like, guys,
Like
hold up. Just wait these 3 days. Your mind about to be blown, yo.
What if, would you, I guess, would you have believed and understood that in that time, do you think? If you were with...
I don't.
They didn't, so I don't know why I would think I would.
Yeah, they had been with Jesus for how long was Jesus' ministry?
It was 2 or 3 years.
Well, they've been with him for that long and knew him personally, and like he taught them from the Bible, like what would happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are we assuming that we are in their place and we don't know the rest of the story yet?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's say that. Yeah.
And yeah, I would say definitely not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Death is pretty real. It's not something that's easily believable that, people come back to life.
Yeah.
So if you see
Right.
that happen, you're not going to be like, oh, of course it's going to happen.
Yeah. Like even if he has cited it many times beforehand.
Yeah, it's such an unbelievable thing that it would just blow your mind. You rather than feeling like, oh yeah, this is exactly what he said it would happen. I'm sure I would have felt like, wow, like it's over, like it was all a lie. But
Really
that was the plan all along.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
in
Mhm.
the beginning of his ministry in John 2 or 3, I think John 3, he talks about the Son of Man needing to be lifted up, just as Moses lifted the serpent up in the wilderness so the Israelites could be saved. Like way at the beginning of his ministry, he's already predicting his death, which is
Yeah, he'd be lifted up like the snake on the cross was.
With Moses.
Yeah, because the serpent was on a long pole, right? And people needed to look up at the
look
serpent
at it to be saved or
to be saved.
Yes. Right.
That's a really cool image.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
How we
Yeah.
need to look up to him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chase, you probably read that a couple of days ago, huh?
Yeah.
Bushes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was struck by that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I love seeing the ways that Jesus relates his life back to the Old Testament and the Psalms, and just how the Bible is one big story, and things that happened 1,000 years before connect with what he's doing in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I like stories a lot, and that's just masterful storytelling on the part of God. So, the original storyteller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you all said, yeah, I think I agree that I think it would be life transforming to see that, or to at least witness Jesus and see him. It would, it would just be very hard to watch that happening.
Yeah, the gore and the violence.
Yeah, especially just because of the fact that this is the epitome of perfection in a human form, and that is just undeserving at all. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that makes it
You know
worse.
that song that says it was my sin that held him there? I think those would be the words that would be going through my head, and I think that would honestly just crush me.
Break you. It should.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That'd be hard.
I don't know any avid Christian who would be able to make it through that without breaking, I would think. But
yeah. Parks, is your mic smacking against your shirt? Because I'm really getting a lot of feedback right now.
Actually, I don't know. Okay. Here, I'll be more careful. Look. There we go.
Yeah, that is better.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
never mind.
Oh, no.
Sorry, folks, on this podcast, Parks is hosting. Things just kind of train wreck.
Okay.
Just
I
kidding.
think we had
You're a great host.
No.
Mark. Way to go, Pongo.
Okay. Thank you.
Parks,
Luna.
also, I don't really get the question because I've already seen this. The movie, The Passion of the Christ, that's basically being there, right?
No.
Exactly.
Right. So that's not it at all, actually. That is an interpretation.
You're going to tell me that Mel Gibson isn't Jesus?
Mel Gibson? Oh, like the director?
Oh, John. No, what's
John
his... What?
You're talking about the actor, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's Mel Gibson did the directing. What's his name? John Caviezel?
Yeah.
He's not Jesus?
No, he's not, actually.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He portrayed Jesus on screen.
Well,
Hey,
that sounds
Parks,
like
do we have
idolatry.
permission?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have permission to deviate from your script and talk about that too?
Yeah. No, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do you guys see any perks in watching that movie?
I do. I think there's something to take away from it.
What movie are we talking about?
The Passion of the
Passion?
Christ,
Yeah.
where
Like, I definitely understand that some people, okay, on one hand, some people don't feel like they need to see any of that to understand the pain and agony Jesus went through. And then there's the idolatry conversation.
Yeah.
yeah, like on the one hand, I watched this in a Bible class in high school, and on the one hand, I felt that was wrong. On the other hand, I appreciated it's not accurate, it's not accurate to what happened entirely, but
Yeah,
I
very
appreciated
Catholic.
the attempt to make it somewhat like, hey, it was hard for Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hard thing, and I thought that attempt was good.
I think in
After
general,
that in the movie,
it's probably done some good for people, making them realize what he went through. But we've had 2,000 years of the church without a movie about Jesus suffering, and we've had 2,000 years of Christians that have believed and understood the gravity of that situation without a movie. So it's not necessarily necessary, which doesn't mean it doesn't have merit or value,
Right.
but there is the conversation of, is it idolatry?
and therefore, is it okay to have?
Yeah. If it's idolatry, certainly not. But you're going to find
No.
people with opinions on both sides of that issue.
Yeah.
No, those are good questions. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about. Do you guys know? Have you guys heard of continuationism and what is the other? Oh, cessationism.
Oh, with the spiritual
like the
gifts.
millennium?
Yes.
No, he's talking
Oh.
spiritual gifts.
Spiritual
I
gifts.
hear you.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
I've thought about that a bit.
Yeah. So cessationism teaches that the spiritual gifts, ceased and are no longer in operation today. I guess I'm reading this article. It says the question in cessationism is not whether there are gifts still being given, but which ones.
Yeah.
So
That's what I was gonna ask too. Like, what gifts are you referring to?
yeah, I think
The more charismatic
healing,
ones. Yeah.
tongues,
So miracles and stuff like
miracles. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, obviously, the fruits of the Spirit are still
that. Yeah.
present, but the debate is always like the charismatic gifts that we don't see a lot of because maybe they don't exist right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've definitely thought about this and grew up in such a way where I would certainly fall on the cessationist side just because I've never seen anything like that, and that kind of stuff makes me uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean that it's not real. Biblically, there's an element to where the apostolic era, like when the apostles were still alive and the early church was being founded, it was a different time, and there was a special circumstances with the building of the first century church and having the apostles be alive and things being spread that way. And so I think there might be truth to that. They stopped because they were no longer necessary because we had the Bible. And so we didn't need prophecy in tongues. And as we've progressed in society and been able to translate and do that type of thing, I don't think it's necessary anymore. But you have Paul saying in Romans 14, desire the, what does he say? Parks, do you have it pulled up?
Well, I have something in 1 Corinthians.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what the verse is, but it says that Paul asserts that the spiritual gifts will not pass away, until the coming of the perfect. So if the perfect is indeed the consummation of God's redemptive purposes, as expressed in the new heaven and the new earth following Christ's return, this is saying we can confidently expect him to continue blessing and empowering his church with the gifts until that time.
So yeah, that's definitely arguing for it. Yeah, that's what I was saying is 1 Corinthians, not Romans. I was wrong. 1 Corinthians 14.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I've kind of gone. I guess I think based on scripture, I'm not sure. I don't
like you have
necessarily
1 Corinthians 14 verse 1 that says, "Follow the way of love and eagerly desire gifts of the Spirit, especially prophecy."
Right.
So that it's tough.
Yeah.
Tough to see exactly how that would work with cessationism.
What do you think the context of that is when they're saying prophecy?
He's talking about speaking in tongues and like prophecy. What do you think of? Yeah, he is.
I don't know. I was just wondering.
No, he definitely is. It's a big passage on tongues and stuff.
Yeah. Kind of like you, I've grown up thinking that it does not happen.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there was like a biblical argument for that, and you mentioned some of that, like with the end of the apostolic era, but I don't know enough to defend that.
Yeah, me neither.
If wanted to give people that power, he certainly could have, like today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I guess I might be more on the. I don't know. I don't know how I grew up really. I didn't really think about this a lot when I was growing up, but I don't know. Based on scripture, I guess I would maybe fall more on the continuationist side.
Yeah, I definitely think that has merit too.
Yeah,
it's something I'm not. I'd lean more cessationist, but that's probably just the way I grew up, and I wouldn't be able to necessarily defend that biblically right now. I find it funny that, so you have 1 Corinthians 14 verse 40, which says, "But everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way." And so that, I think that verse is used in the Psalter hymnal that the CRC did in like the 50s. They had that at the beginning, and they're like preface to making the book. Like, we should do things in order. And yeah, that's absolutely right. Like, that's what that verse is talking about. But the verse before it says, "Therefore, my brothers and sisters, be eager to prophesy and do not forbid speaking in tongues." And so, like, you have 39, which CRC people probably want to avoid that verse. And then verse 40, where it's like, yeah, everything should be done in order. And CRC people are like, yes, that's it. That's what I want. It's just,
yeah,
that's funny to me.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is, I don't know how much this is related, but do you think those gifts happen possibly more in foreign countries if they do happen, or what? Why do we see a ton of like demons being cast out in Africa and foreign places, and in America that is kind of shut out or not really talked about or not really noted? I don't know.
I've read a little bit about that. I don't know what my opinion is, but I've read about this from C.S. Lewis. He says the devil uses tools differently to fit the culture best.
Yes.
So in spiritualist cultures such as Africa, maybe having like real demons like mess with people, however that would look, is the best way to go. But if you do that here, like, I don't think that would work.
People think that's nuts.
Right.
Yeah, like the best bet for him and his motives would be, make him seem as fake as possible and nothing as consequences.
Yeah.
This is where like
that's Nathan. That's exactly where my mind went, was like the screw tape letters and Satan working and how he wants to in different cultures to best mess with people.
He is the deceiver and he is good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I actually very much agree with that too. Yeah. A discernment is a big spiritual discernment, I think, is key in all of this. But that can be hard to.
That's everything.
That's true.
Parks, that was dumb. That was a bad comment.
Yeah, Parks, that comment meant nothing because it could be said every single second of every day.
Well, but there's something weighty about, I don't know, spiritual gifts more so than.
No, I agree. It's a harder
Yeah.
issue than like the humanity of Christ, especially for people who are Orthodox Christians. Like we kind of got that down pretty well.
Yeah.
But spiritual gifts is like you can kind of go either way.
Right. Okay. Yes. Let us end, unless you guys want to say anything else. Okay, let's end with one final question. What was your favorite Nintendo DS game growing up?
This is an insanely
Oh.
good question. What a question here, Mark.
I have my answer.
Please
Go,
tell
Nathan.
Pokemon Platinum.
me.
So good.
I had
Speaking
Pokemon
of Satanist
Pearl.
games.
Yeah, what? Evolution and...
Yeah, Evolution is very Satanist.
Yeah, nice, Parks. I've never played Pokemon, so I can't comment upon such things.
I enjoyed those. I think I had Pokemon Pearl. And
I did too.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good one.
I think I was really disgusted with how slow my character would move, like on each tile. But I was.
You gotta get your running shoes, Parks.
Yeah, that's it. That's probably it. I think you had to upgrade and stuff. Chase, what was yours?
I probably Mario Kart or Scribblenauts. I loved both those games. And Madden 09 I had on the DS. That was so much fun.
Really?
Like I can't imagine the graphics. They had to be just awful. But I, as a whatever I was, a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, I didn't care. I had so much fun playing those games. DS's just could sap your attention. Oh my goodness. Just hours.
Yeah. I gotta agree. Like I loved Mario Kart. I loved Mario Party. Was a fun
Yes, that too. That was so fun.
And then Scribblenauts. Super Scribblenauts actually, because you could add adjectives.
What a great Nathan, do you know that game?
Scribblenauts?
Yeah.
No, I've never heard of it.
It's a good game.
It is a really good game. All right, boys. Well, we have traveled, stumbled, died, crawled, slithered. That's not okay. Through tough discussions.
And until next time.